Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Tamitha Saunders with T5's Crafty Corner. So happy you could be here. So today we're going to be going over this wood grain peekaboo. We did a little geode to it. We added some glitter to it, and it also is a vinyl wrap under it. So we did multiple different steps to get this look. So let's just get to it. All right, I got the vinyl out that we're gonna do. We're gonna do this pink Mossy Oak camo style. And I'm gonna measure around my tumbler so I know what the thickest width is that we're gonna need. And then I'm gonna cut it down, cut the vinyl down. So we're gonna say 10 inches. And I mean, this doesn't have to be, I'd rather it be a little over than under. So I'm gonna go a hair over the 10. I'm gonna go like 10 1/4. Okay. So now this, we're going to just cut off a little piece of the backing. Now see, this vinyl, it really doesn't matter what direction you put it. It's got leaves going everywhere, so it really doesn't matter which way. Find my little handy dandy scissors. Well, I don't feel like fooling with it, so we're just gonna tear it. Fold this down. And I'm just going to start it right where the handle is. Make sure I get it nice and straight. Now see, I almost want to cut that inch off. I think I will. I'm going to cut an inch off. So I'm going to cut an inch off. And see, cutting that inch off, it still gives us plenty of extra. Now see, I can tell already that's not straight. Okay, now we're to the handle. I'm gonna use my knife and make a few slits. Now we just got finished cutting the 4 slits where our handle is, and now we're gonna press those down as nice and flat as we can get them. And then we're going to do some trimming. You'll want to be careful as you're doing the trimming. You don't want to cut too much off from the handle, but if you happen to make a mistake, it'll be all right because we're going to cover it with some spray paint and do a wood grain on the outside. And I'm just going around the handle real easy, getting it as even as I can. And I'm just going through and trying to rub out any air bubbles that I can, and if I can't get them to rub out, I'm just putting a slight hole, just poking it so I can push the air. Let's see. You see those? I'm just pushing those out. I put a small hole and then we rub them out. Now, if we have any, if you have problems with any, you can always like put your little slight hole, you know, your little tap, and then you can use a heat gun, but don't get it too hot. I had this one clear vinyl that I was doing for a glow-in-the-dark cup, and I was having a lot of issues, but once I warmed it up, it made it so much easier. As you can see, I'm just taking it, pulling it, and getting it as flat as I can. And then I'm going to go around this little rim area. Is cut around here. Which you're not going to see this, but I will go over like one of the little corners here when I do the geode part on the wood grain. Now the top we're just going to pull. And then we're just going to go around it. I do think we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do the handle in glitter. All right, so I just got some Mod Podge. I'm just going to mix up a little bit of Mod Podge and a little bit of paint. I ended up picking out a door from SOC Glitters. It's a real pretty pink. It's gonna look really good with the camo cup. Grab me a brush. Get rid of this first before it keeps sticking in my hand. Mod Podge is so sticky. I'm just going to go with the square tip. I'll go over top of it again once I get one layer on, just to be sure that I didn't miss any spots and to try to get it even. I think doing the handle in glitter and maybe a strip of vinyl, I think that might make it look pretty cool, but I just might leave the whole thing glitter. Because there is this, I've got a pink shimmer additive by SOC Glitters that I think I want to try. here on the side of the handle. Get up here also. And I also missed on the inside of the handle. That stuff did dry super quick, so if you're not fast, you'll be doing the same thing that I'm doing right here. You gotta be super fast. I want to try to get some of that new glitter glue everybody's been using. What's your favorite glitter glue? Anybody got a favorite? I know there's a lot of different brands out there. I'd like to try some besides using Mod Podge. Now I'm not, if there is any like imperfections, we'll see that. And before I do the white spray paint, I'll put tape down so I know exactly where I want it to show through at. So say that, you know, you're just fine and you can't get out all these little air bubbles and stuff. That's okay. Just when you use tape to figure out what you want to show, then just don't pick those areas. All right, I'm going to seal the glitter handle with some polycleric. Okay, now we got a really good coverage on that. I'm going to put it on the turner and wait for that sealer to dry. All right, here I'm using KS Resin's Liquid Art Ultra UV. Okay, I'm going to show you how I'm doing these decals, because we're doing a peekaboo and then also an outline. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to offset it. I have the offset set at 0.056. I'm going to apply it, and I got all the stencils is black. So, but we're going to select all, then come down here and hit the slice button. And then we got the black layer, and the gray layer we're going to get rid of because this gray becomes our outline for our cup. Now, these right here, it's going to be an offset with the name, and that's just going to be vinyl. So I colored it to where I knew those aren't the colors we're using, but I did it so I knew what was what. Now for the bear, like the brown is all going to be black or pink. I haven't made up my mind which layer I'm doing what, but it's probably going to be the pink, and then the top, the brown, is going to be black. But so I can show some of the camo of the cup, I have this black layer, which is a bigger offset, so it will show some of the camo. So this is going to be the peekaboo, which is the black. All the black is going to be peekaboo. And then these grays over here are going to be the outlines. And so I'll show you this one. We're going to hit the offset, 0.056. We're going to apply. We're going to select all, and then we're going to slice it. And then we're going to get rid of the gray. So these over here, I'm just going to throw all those in a pile and then delete them. So this is what we're going to do. And then, which it'll make a little more sense once you see me actually doing it. But for these, I'm going to duplicate all of these because I want to do full sheets. So I do full sheets, not the names, but just the paws and the scratch marks, and then the outline. So I'm going to duplicate these enough to where I have full sheets for each one. And then we'll go from there. But I kind of wanted to show you how I got what I was doing. Like this right here is 3 layers because this is going to be black vinyl on the cup. This is going to be the pink vinyl on the cup. And this is going to be the peekaboo part. So it's going to be the part that that shows through. And actually, I'm going to contour this because I want that to be the I want that to be part of the camo showing through. So we'll contour that, and then to make it solid. So now we got the solid bare. Now this will be the part that we remove after we spray paint. And then these are going to be vinyl. All right, guys, here we have it. I got the handle already all taped off, and now we're going to apply our decals. So she's right-handed, so make sure you ask your customer if they're right or left-handed, because that'll determine where you want your main images to go. I've already got them all weeded out. So I use 631 vinyl to do my my stencil. I have stencil vinyl, but I just preferred not to use it. And, you know, I'm just putting these wherever I like. There's no certain pattern I'm going for or anything, because we're also going to remove some of the white paint. I did cut extra. I always like cutting extra because a lot of times when I do a cup, I'll have somebody else that wants the same cup, and then that way I've already got things cut out for that. Now we can take it outside. This is what we got. Let me back up so you can see the whole cup. We're going to take it outside, and I'm going to spray paint it white. All right, so we got our cup spray painted white, and now we're ready to lay the inks. I've got Latte by Fairytale Glitter, Carmel by Marabu, Natural Oak by Fairytale, and then Butterscotch by Holtz. And then I got my little container of brown alcohol. I'm going to start off with the natural. No, actually, I'm going to start off with the Butterscotch. And then, of course, I got my used alcohol ink. Going to my latte. Then I'm going to do my caramel. with our natural oak. Now this has kind of got like a little bit of a, it's more got like a dark, oh, dark reddish color. See how rich that is? We're just gonna blend them all together. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the latte. I don't know why these lids are so hard today. Okay, so here's what we got so far. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna touch up this little spot right here. I don't care for it. We're gonna leave this sit and let it dry. Now that the inks are all dry, which usually doesn't take very long, we'll go ahead and start removing all the vinyl pieces, revealing the camo pattern vinyl underneath. And we're going to continue until we have removed them all. I'm not going to show all the process of removing the vinyl. You'll notice that I jumped ahead on a few of the other ones as well. But we're just going to remove all of them until there's no more left to remove, revealing the vinyl underneath. Okay, looks like we got all of our peekaboo done. Now we can remove the tape from the handle. I'm going to do the bottom. Just gonna dip it in the alcohol. Oops. We're gonna swirl it around. Sorry, I gotta turn it a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Just trying to make a circular motion to make it look like wood grain. Now we can cut the handle off. Had a little bit of alcohol that spilt there. So now we're just going to touch up all the little white spots. I forgot to dab it. Any kind of scratch marks, white marks. 'Cause sometimes when you peel it, it does leave a little bit of a white from your paint. Now this, we're going to actually, I'll scrape that off. See that paint right there? We'll scrape that off with the utility knife. And I always go around the handle. You see how you see the white? You'll notice how you'll see me dip my brush into the alcohol, and then I'll touch a darker spot on the cup. And sometimes you can do that if you're just needing a little bit of color. I'm just going to keep going and touching up the cup, any white areas that I see, and then I'm going to scratch off very ever so slightly the white paint that kind of bled through where the bear goes. It's hard to try to show you this and do it at the same time to get a good view of it. I'm just going around and getting that paint off because it actually went underneath. All right, so now we can put our decals on. And then, hi guys, welcome back. I got the decals all weeded, so I already layered them, if I can spit it out. But I didn't layer the bear yet, so we can do this one on film. But I did go ahead and layer the names and the dates. So here is like the vinyl that I used. This one is this one's a holographic. It's like almost like a pink purple. And then I just used a gloss black. And then I used this real pretty, I don't know if you can see it, this glitter, this pink glitter. It's more like a fuchsia. Oh, here's a better one of the holographic. You can really see it a little bit better. So now we're going to place these on the cup so we can get our first coat of epoxy. You have to be kind of careful when you're doing this because it's not epoxied yet. I'm just trying to save a step. Save us a step here. You know, anytime you do anything to a tumbler that has ink on it, you just want to be super extra careful if it doesn't have a coat of epoxy on it. But just remember, if you do scratch it or you get a mark on it or whatever, you can always just touch that up with a small paintbrush and blend it right in where you won't even notice. Sometimes, you know, you can't really see when you're weeding, so it's easier to get it off of your transfer tape. Now you're going to notice that I am going to jump ahead. I'm not going to show me placing all the little vinyl pieces. Now I do want to remove some of the wood grain. Got one little air pocket right here. I'll try popping it. All right. Here's what we got. Now I'm going to use my rag. I'm going to use acetone first. And then we're going to start removing some of this. Now I'm just going to pick some random spots and I'm going to remove the alcohol in the paint to give it a geo look to where we can see the vinyl underneath. Now I don't have any, when I decide to do this, I just pick random spots that I think will look good and I try to do them in different shapes to give it a whole different look. But I mean, you can do them however you want. There's no right or wrong. And I'm not going to show every single one that I do as I'm doing them. I will speed up and pick certain ones. I'm going to go all the way around the edge just slightly. Okay, let me see. I didn't want too much. So now we're going to go in with our alcohol. Now you got to be real careful with your alcohol. Well, you had to be real careful with your acetone as well, but we're gonna need to go in with some Q-tips. Okay, I got the Q-tips. Just gonna put a little. Got to press pretty hard when you use alcohol. That's why I always go over with the acetone first. Got to put a lot of effort in it with the alcohol. I'm just trying to get some of these white in just a little further. Okay, got my little brush out. I think I'm going to use Carmel. Kind of want to just use the up and down motion the same way that the grain's going for the most part. I mean, you will have times where you got to go side to side. Like, see this? I went too much side to side and I can really tell. So I'm going to try going back over it. All right, now we're going to put epoxy on the cup before we put the names on, because even though it's doubled layer, I'm afraid that because the glitter's real thin and the black is shiny, I don't know if any of the end grooves are going to cause an issue. Also, epoxy gets up and underneath of it, that might cause it to lift. So we're going to go ahead and coat this with epoxy. I mean, I think one layer should be good. I am going to put a sealer on it because of the metallic. It has a lot of tendencies of lifting. So we're going to put a sealer on it and then a coat of epoxy. But this is what we got. Now, before this layer of epoxy, I did put a coat of Counterculture's Clear Quick Coat before this layer of epoxy. Now, I used this glitter vinyl on top of black vinyl, and I already layered them on top of one another. And I'm just using clear contact paper that I purchased from Walmart. Now, you know, I'm just placing these where I think they'll look good. All right, now we're ready to go in with another coat of epoxy. Here's what we got. And, you know, being that the vinyl's double layered and it is glitter vinyl on top of gloss vinyl, it probably is going to take 2 coats. All right, I mixed up 20 milliliters of Liquidy Split Ultra UV right here. And I'm going to add some Dusty Pink by SOC Glitters. It's a sparkle dust that they carry. She has a lot of different colors of this. And you're only going to need a tiny bit. I may want to put just a little more because I want it to really shimmer. Now, I did 1 coat of epoxy already, and I told you that more than likely it would take 2 coats. And I sanded down the handle, and then there was a couple areas on the cup where I just used my little sander and I just sanded them down and then wiped it with some alcohol. But I did sand the handle. It was still a little rough. And then hopefully this should be the last coat. And this is the Liquidy Split is a fast set with ultra UV inhibitors in it. And that's what we're using as our final layer. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you want to see more content. I got some pretty good stuff coming up, and you're not going to want to miss it. So have a blessed day.